Hello traders, and welcome to our educational videos brought to you through FXCL Markets, FXCL Excellence in Trading. Welcome to another series in our educational videos, as today we'll bring you a new topic and a new trading experience. Let me introduce myself to you. My name is William K. Gilday, and I will be your moderator today. Let me just give you a little bit about myself. I've been trading Forex since 2006. In 2008, I retired from fire rescue in the United States, and I went to trading full-time and relocated to the great country of Thailand, where I currently reside. And I'm coming to you today live from right on the beach overlooking the Gulf of Thailand. Let's get out of the way the legal stuff. Remember that trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. As Forex is an awesome instrument to trade, you need to learn that you are risking your hard-earned equity anytime you put on a trade, whether in Forex or any other instrument. Today's topic I'm so happy to talk about is Bollinger Bands. I'm going to show you how to put Bollinger Bands on your charts, and I'm going to show you how to read Bollinger Bands and what exactly Bollinger Bands mean. So let's move on with this, and let's go and get to the charts. Okay, so here we are. This is the pound Aussie dollar chart. This is a 1 hour chart. A couple of things I want you to take a note of is, one, that the chart, I will tell you what these indicators and stuff is on the chart. These powder blue lines are just support and resistance lines that I put in over time, and I see them on all my charts, as I always keep my horizontal support and resistance lines on my charts forever. I don't take them off. This green line is a 200 exponential moving average. Okay, and down on the bottom here is the MACD indicator, the histogram, and then the two moving averages inside the MACD. Okay, so we're going to talk about Bollinger Bands today. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you how we put Bollinger Bands into our charts. Very, very simple. So you have your chart up on the MT4 platform. So you go to Insert, go to Indicators, come down to Trend, and hit on Bollinger Bands. Once you hit on Bollinger Bands, you can make this any color you want, so you can change the color of the Bollinger Band, whatever you wish to do. So I'm going to change this color. I'm going to make it a light gray. I don't change any of the settings. It's 20, 0, and 2 are the settings. My levels, I'm not going to change anything, and I want to be able to visualize this in all time frames. So after you do that, next thing you want to do is just hit OK. And now we have the Bollinger Bands onto our trading chart. So let's talk about Bollinger Bands. So we have a top Bollinger Band. We have a middle Bollinger Band. This is the middle Bollinger Band. And then we have a lower Bollinger Band. Let's talk about the middle Bollinger Band. The middle Bollinger Band is a 20 moving average. It's a 20 simple moving average. That's all that is the middle Bollinger Band. I don't pay a lot of attention to the middle Bollinger Band unless I'm trading a strategy using the Bollinger Bands. So what is Bollinger Bands about? What are we going to do with the Bollinger Band? Well, there's a couple of things you need to know. As you know, in Forex, we don't use volume indicators. Such as stocks or futures, we use volume indicators to tell you how much volume is inside the market. And with today's advanced trading platforms, you can actually see how many contracts are being purchased and sold inside the markets real time. Absolutely amazing. However, in Forex, we don't use volume. So one of the ways that we can tell how much volatility is in the market, we use Bollinger Bands. And that's what we use. So there's a couple of things that we want to look at when we use Bollinger Bands. One is that we want to see if the Bollinger Band is coming to the downside, and this would be coming to the upside, which would instigate that we are basically in a low volatile market, and trading is very low at that point. There's no volatility in the market. We like to see Bollinger Bands like this bottom Bollinger Band here, where the Bollinger Band is open to the downside, or this Bollinger Band, which it would be open to the upside. All right, so let's take a real good example of this. If you take a look at this area here, if you take a look at this up Bollinger Band here, you can see this came down and the Bollinger Band opened wide open to the upside, and then down here it opened wide open to the downside. All right, eventually both Bollinger Bands were to the upside, and look at this angle and separation between price bars and the two Bollinger Bands. If you notice here, they're a lot smaller. Here they're a lot wider. Okay, and that's what you want to see. You want to see a lot of volatility. So as this price moves up, we call it riding the band, and that's what this is doing. This is basically riding the Bollinger Band. Why is that important? Well, it's important because one thing you need to realize about Bollinger Bands is that price, even though it might leave the Bollinger Band, such as this wick here, it left the Bollinger Band, came up to the 200, and what did it do? Came back to the Bollinger Band. 99.999% of the time, Bollinger Bands will come back into the Bollinger Band. If it leaves the Bollinger Band, it will come back into the Bollinger Band. Okay? So this left the Bollinger Band and comes back into the Bollinger Band. It is just a great, great tool to use in your trading, and it tells you when you want to be in the market and when you don't want to be in the market. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close these candles in a little bit so we can get a little better look at what's going on. So just come over here to the right of your chart, put your cursor over the numbers, left click, and pull this down, and this will close these bands so you can really get a good look at what's going on here. So we can see where price came outside the Bollinger Band here, then went into the Bollinger Band, which we would expect, came sideways. Isn't it amazing that it actually did it on this powder blue line, which is a support line, was a resistance, now support, went sideways, and then came up, came back down, and then came back up. And what did it do? It rode the Bollinger Band. You don't see a closing candle outside the Bollinger Band until it spiked the 200 EMA and came back and actually just closed outside the Bollinger Band. And yes, I just saw the candle before it closed outside the Bollinger Band, came up and then came back into the Bollinger Band and resumed. Okay, this is in a downtrend. This is in a downtrend. So basically, price moved up and then continued the trade to the downside. So Bollinger Bands can be very, very useful in your trading, and I really encourage you to experiment with Bollinger Bands. Go onto your charts when the markets are closed on the weekends and experiment with your Bollinger Bands and look how price action reacts to the Bollinger Bands. You're probably wondering why I picked the Pound Aussie. The reason I picked the Pound Aussie is because the Pound Aussie trades an average daily range of 159 pips. And so far today, we've only moved 111 pips. So we've got over 40 pips that we still can trade in this pair. So if you're a scalper, this would be an ideal pair to stay with. You can get in and out of the market, and you have plenty of opportunities and plenty of time to move inside and outside the market. So this is basically what we're going to use Bollinger Bands for. We want to see the volatility. We want to see open Bollinger Bands when we take trades, and we want to see good price action. We always want to trade within the trend, trading within the trend. So we want to make our trades that are going with the trend, and you can see this is a 1 hour chart. So what if I move down to a 15-minute chart? Here's a 15-minute chart. We can expand this a little bit, move this up so you can see it a little bit better. Okay? And again, you can see how price came all the way up to the 200 and again pulled back down. So it basically correlates with what the 1 hour chart was telling us, almost exact. So let's go back to the 1 hour chart. Here's the 1 hour chart. It makes it easy to see, and price action did exactly what we would expect it to do. Comes down, fibs, comes down, fibs, comes down, fibs, goes sideways, comes down, comes all the way back up. Actually fib this swing. If you put Fibonacci in here, it fibs this swing. Comes up to the 200 and then continues its way down in price as it is in a down trend. Okay, traders, I hope you got something out of a little bit of education on Bollinger Bands, and I would encourage you to put Bollinger Bands on your charts and experiment with your Bollinger Bands and get really used to using them as a tool in your Forex trading. My name is William Gilday, and thank you so much for being with me today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next educational video through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Good day, folks.